Hello, this is Ramirez with Tidewater Renaissance Fighting Arts. I'm here today with Christine, one of our other instructors. And today we're going to talk a little bit about fighting with Montante. In our club, we usually reserve this for the senior members to do, but that kind of goes with the historical tradition in some Spanish schools where they would refer to fighting with Montantes as a sparring match, as a master's duel. We use the Blackfencer synthetics. I have at least one steel Montante suitable for sparring, but we don't have a second one that's suitable. I would say that if you are interested in Montante sparring, this is kind of a good place to start because you can use it relatively well with modern HEMA gear and be all right. I just want to make a quick point of that by, if I have my hands, now I'm going to have Christine very carefully go from my hand/forearm, which is padded, but you can go a little bit more with that, you know. Right. Okay, and just one more with a little more solid intent. Is, you know, if we're controlled about it, we can reasonably hit, and I'm not even wearing full HEMA gear. I would be if we were sparring. But I just want to make that point that these don't hit as hard. Also, if she just points her blade out, yep, is that this will flex. That does hurt with a t-shirt on, but with a jacket, you'd feel it. But, you know, I've taken thrusts with this. Christine's taken thrusts with it. Ultimately, it flats out. So if I'm here on her and I press out here, it's like, it's not pleasant in a t-shirt. Right. But in our jackets, generally, a thrust isn't too bad. I've had one bad experience with one of our guys who's a bodybuilder, and he just took all of his strength with one hand and did that. And I said, yeah, we need to take this away from you. But generally, if you're fighting with control, you can fight with these quite easily. And another thing is that you might know, blanking on names, but the gentleman who runs the London Longsword Academy, you can do a lot of longsword technique and incorporate it with these. It's just a lot bigger. So if I come in, I can still do the idea of a zwerkow and come in and try to hit my opponent. These are not so large that that idea is outrageous. And I've established my line, now I can come and thrust. Things like overhow general cuts have little problems. So if Christine comes at me with an overhow and I block it, as a general rule, I can almost always catch that. We tend to find ourselves locked in here a lot when we try to do stuff because you can't really get past. That's kind of a difficult thing. So kind of the fun thing traditionally is a lot of times we'll use like Godinho's techniques where if I'm thrusting, I will try to counter my thrust here to get in past the guard and using a lot more thrusting techniques. Neither of us have found half sorting to be particularly effective, but we have done some other stuff, sweeping cuts. For us personally, I think none of us do really a lot of the Figueredo kind of big, huge sweeping cuts because we find that in the time that it takes me to do that sweeping cut, if she goes to a simple thrust, it's just that much faster. So we don't see it. I know there's a group in England putting out a few videos of Montante duels. They do tend to use them a little bit more. We tend to be like, how can we parry the weapons, put them in awkward positions. So if she does come for a cut, I may very well try to stop this to the ground and then take my cut, which sets its own set of problems. If I can get her to the ground here and then get this, then, you know, pommel strikes are still in business. But I find that once again, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but generally we have never had any issues with overpower with these. No. And we have found it a lot of fun. It's one of those things you can't do, like, you know, competitively. There aren't enough people in the competitive HEMA world that want to do greatsword. But within your club, if you're willing to do it, I find the synthetics give us a fun fight and give us different ways of learning. It's definitely an arm trainer versus using a longsword. And it is a lot of fun. So I would encourage anyone who says, hey, you can't spar with Montante. Maybe it might be a little riskier with the steel ones, but with the synthetic ones, we do have a lot of fun. And I would encourage all of you, who are like, hey, I'd like to fight with great swords. You don't have to go to those padded ones. I feel like those don't give you an accurate representation. I've done a review of this in comparison to its metal equivalent, and I will try to link that in the video below. But really, just having the opportunity to spar with a greatsword gives you some resistance. These do have flex, but actual Montantes have flex. And it's just fun, and I think this is a relatively safe way to go. I would tell you, if you're really jumpy and do a lot of crazy moves and you can't control your actions, that's kind of the bar under which I say, yeah, you're not ready to spar with these. You do have to spar with a degree of control, and if you do, there really shouldn't be a problem. And as I said, I would encourage anyone who's interested in sparring with greatswords to get a set of these and go to town, because it really is a lot of fun. So once again, my name is Ramirez. I'm with Tidewater Renaissance Fighting Arts. As one of our other instructors, Christine, and I will see you in the next video.